Aswand, Cruickshank, your one and only Move Swiftly speaker, checking in for a daily Move Swiftly thought, giving you a perspective on teamwork that you will not get anywhere else. Recording this day after the news has broken that the legendary Jerry West has passed along to a better place. A blessing he was, all right? Never met the man personally, never actually got a chance to shake his hand and meet him personally. However, I feel like I know him. I feel like I know him. Not only the fact that, the timing of his death is right around the time we're about to crown a brand new NBA champion, and it's him who is Jerry West who actually inspired the logo for the NBA. All the reasons that you may see on the national media as to why, or you may or may not see on the national media as to why this passing is fairly significant for me from an outsider looking in standpoint, from a real, I don't want to call myself a fan because I grew up hating the Lakers, but I just look at people like him and understand the timing and his story and how much his belief and how much his work created my work, how much his story led to me doing the work I'm doing. All right, so it was around the time, it was 5 years ago now, when I was 25, so 10 years ago now, about 2014-ish time. It's going through 2013, 2014-ish time. It's going through it. Trust me when I tell you, I was going through it. I was homeless, living out of a car that eventually got repossessed in Ocean City, right? And I was attempting to start up a brand new minor league football organization named the Ocean City Sharks. I mean, just doing everything in my power, because what I wanted to do at the time is I wanted to do exactly what Jerry West did. So I would dive into constant reading material about the people who've done it before. And Jerry West, as you know, is one of the greatest GMs, one of the greatest architects of basketball we ever know. He's one of those that was successful as a player, he was successful as a coach, and successful as an executive, which is why, again, he represents everything that the NBA brand has built to this day, right? So I was in the middle of going through that, right? Really struggling, trying to get sponsors, again, eventually the thing just fell through. Everything just fell through. Lost everything, phone, car, everything you can actually have. I lost it, all right? I had absolutely nothing, not one penny. And it was during that time I was reading his book. It's not, his book isn't the real, I don't want to get my words misconstrued here. I want you to misconstrue what I'm saying here. It's not his book that is the reason I failed. I failed because I didn't plan properly. I failed because I didn't think long-term enough. I failed because of just the things that I wasn't doing on my end. It had nothing to do with the fact that I read his book. But at the same time, it was his book that inspired me to keep going regardless, all right? It was his book that inspired me to keep pushing out aggressive ideas, pushing out strong things, and it gave me kind of a light post. It gave me some guidance on my way to my next endeavor and my next venture, all right? Let me give you a couple of examples, because one of the subtitle to his book, so the title of the book is West to West, and I think it's something like documenting my charmed and tormented life, all right? When he threw the word tormented in the subtitle, it really drew my attention, because at the time there was a lot of back and forth. There's a lot of things I was figuring out within my own family, and that was tormenting me, that was killing me. However, I looked at Jerry West, again, from the outside looking in, thinking, man, what else can you want? I mean, you have the greatest job in the world. You're able to GM the team that you played for. I mean, what can be better? And I looked at his situation, and I was admiring his situation from a distance, and I wanted that. But when he threw the word tormented in the subtitle, I wanted to read more. And then as I got into his story, it was all about, he started out the book with something really powerful. He says, look, my greatest weakness by far is that, and it hit so hard. Listen, the opening line in the book, he says, my greatest weakness by far, and when he threw the by far in there, I knew something strong was coming. He says, my greatest weakness by far was that I assume everyone cares as much as I do. And as I was putting the Ocean City Sharks together, as I was attaching Gym 44 to it and making sure everything was kind of on point and making sense in my mind, I was assuming everyone gave a shit as much as I give a shit. I was assuming that, and when I read that story, I realized, all right, this is someone I can learn from. This is someone I can get a great deal from. This is someone I can really attach to and think about, really, is this what I want to do, right? So as I went further along in the book, he documented, how difficult it was to actually maintain that job. How he was on his phone day and night and he couldn't have any family time. I believe he actually went through a divorce and had a second wife or something like that. And, it was all because of the job. And it allowed me to rethink exactly how it is I'm going to pursue this career, how exactly I'm going to, open up doors and create avenues for myself. And the reason I'm bringing that to your attention is not just because he passed away, although that, that sparked my memory about the book, but also because as an author, as the business owners, the majority of you guys who listen to me daily, the business owners and the owners of intellectual property, whether it's a book, whether it's a concept, whether it's something that you own that people can pick up, 10, 15, 20, a lifetime, whether it's material that you're putting out that's going to last a lifetime, understand this is what you're doing for people. I'm a living proof example of what somebody who put a book out, right, it did for me. I'm able to keep going and not let the Ocean City Sharks failure define me, because I had that book in my mind before I failed. And now again, we're gonna put out another one. We got more books now. I got 5 books now. And the point as I wrap all this up, because I know I'm all over the place, and as I'm thinking about all the fallen soldiers, whether it's Jerry West, whether it's Larry Allen, whether it's Bill Walton, whether it is well, I mean, you can put O.J. Simpson in. I talked about the O.J. Simpson situation too, and again, and that you could even put him in this. When it comes to how you will be remembered when your day comes, how you will how will you be remembered? It's so important that you attach yourself to things and put things out there that last for a lifetime, so you can continue to touch lives even when you're not here. People like, again, folks like Jerry West has an omnipresence to him because of the work that he was doing while he was here on this earth. And I encourage you so strongly to develop that, do that, because you don't know when your time is going to come, and you have to create things that will last, that will be here when you are not, because again, you won't be here forever. Create something that's going to last to touch another generation, to touch another kid, to touch somebody who's going to be on the come up. All right. Condolences to anyone who is close to Jerry West and his family. Again, I'm sure he was incredibly inspirational, man. I mean, I've read one book from the guy and I moved. So I'm sure anybody who's been around him from a day-to-day perspective, from a day-to-day standpoint, speaks very highly of him. And, my sincere condolences to anyone who may be listening to this that was close to him. All right. With all that being said, main website to check out to dive deeper into all my work, it's makeyourmove.com. That's MAKEYAMOVE.com. One-stop shop for all your teamwork and your self-development needs. Aswand, Cruickshank, your one and only Move Swiftly speaker, checking out. You guys continue to move swiftly. We will talk more soon.